I don't even know where to begin. So, guys, I have not made a video in about 2 weeks. Okay, so let me tell you what's been going on within North Carolina, right? So, I think you guys know like the whole snowstorm and everything. And I think I put in my video how I was outside like in the snow or something like that. Well, yes, and basically like I believe it also snowed again. So like we was out of school for like a week and a half, and then it cleared up, went back to school. Life was hectic and whatnot. My personal life and my school life and everything, and with this, like with the snow, and I have had a lot on my mind where I could not make a video. I had to like think about my next topic, and I just had to sit and process life because oh my goodness, a lot has been going on. Okay, yeah. But nonetheless, hello and welcome to Mox, a teenage talk show. Y'all took my hair out and everything. I was just like, let me just make a video to talk about what's been on my mind. So our topic today is the expectations upon teens as if we are adults. I think that's a good topic. My last video was the expectations upon teens as the older sibling. This one is as if we are adults, right? This is like a big topic that I've had on my mind because literally I've had, honestly, like this morning, like as I'm making this video, I think it's like maybe like 5 o'clock or something like that. But some events that's been happening to me literally earlier today. I went to school and I was like, I gotta make a video when I get home. And then like I'm gonna say a couple days ago, this incident with like me driving a car, well, like my family's car and whatnot. I don't have my own car yet, but just like me driving my family's car, there was an incident with that. And I was like, bro, I have to make this video because there's just so many incidents that revolve around this topic, right? So I just want to start off by saying, for me, right, when I was 12 years old, honestly, even before 12, I've always been my own entrepreneur, right? I've always been like my own hustler and everything. I've always made my own money if I wanted something, like I get my necessities and I get most of what I want, but typically what I want, I buy myself, right? I do not live with my parents. I live with my grandmother and her husband, but first it was just my grandmother. I used to live with my aunt and her husband, which is my uncle, but not blood. I used to live with my cousins, so when you have like that lifestyle, of course, if you want something, you gotta work or something to get it. So like, I've always sold slime or like sold snacks in school, little stuff like that, right? Until I obviously turned 15 and really like 16 and now and just working, getting a job, but stuff of that sort. But I think that when teens start making money, their parents think that they're just so self-sufficient, right? Or they think that they are adults, like they think that, oh, well, if you made this money, you can get, make your own money. Like you can go do whatever if you have the money. Or now that you made this money, you can go make that. I think that we are still kids, right? There shouldn't be more so like a forced responsibility. Sometimes I feel like I kind of somewhat am self-sufficient. Of course, obviously I don't pay bills. I shouldn't have to pay bills. I'm a kid, I'm not 18, anything of that sort. But sometimes parents, I think they aren't ever physically tired. They get mentally tired of kids, right? They get mentally tired of their kids being their responsibility. Once you hit a certain age, or once you can drive, or once you can get a job, it's like they just give up. My biggest thing that I believe in is parenting does not stop at 18. Parenting does not stop at 21. Parenting does not stop until basically you die, honestly, or unless your child dies, right? That's one like big controversial topic that people talk about. Oh, my child is 18, they're out the house. No, parenting doesn't stop at 18. Parenting doesn't stop when they get their first apartment. Parenting doesn't stop when they hit puberty. You're still a parent. You had a kid. Like they are your responsibility. I also believe that because of this, teens, we have so much pressure to just grow up faster, and then like when we do grow up faster, it's like, oh, you're being grown. No. I mean, if you tell me I have to do blase, and then when I do blase and more, it's a problem, right? So for me, I like to buy my own stuff anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, mainly because of like the way that I grew up. Like I said, my life is never terrible. My life is not terrible, but there is some things in my life. If I could pick and choose, I would choose something different than whatever life threw at me, right? But there are times when teens mentally just are exhausted, like we have a lot on our plate. And this older generation, they love to say, oh, well, you guys have it easy because we used to da 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 da. I understand your past, but that doesn't mean that you have to push that generational trauma onto us, That is just like this topic, I low-key want to make multiple parts to it, because as I keep making more videos, more than likely I'm going to give my own life experiences, you know what I'm saying? But there are so many expectations upon us as teens in this generation to be older, to grow older, and once we actually get older, that's a problem, or there's people out here that's suffering from mental illnesses because of this. They need help and they're asking for help and no one wants to help them. I didn't really understand it at first. Don't bash me. Of course, I'm older now, right? I didn't understand this at first, but mental awareness is a big thing in kids, okay? Me personally, I don't think that I have mental illnesses or issues, or I don't think I'm depressed. But I do believe that there are teens out there who are, and they do need help. I believe sometimes I lack empathy and things of that sort. So that could be one thing. I don't really have that emotion to give to others at times. But I think that I know ways to make me happy. I know ways to make me feel better. I know I don't just sit and soak in my sadness. You know what I'm saying? I always try to think positive to switch how I feel. But there are people out there who don't have that outlet, and the adults, they push it aside because they also went through hard struggles when they were a kid because of their generational trauma. So now they're pushing it onto their kids, and that just isn't okay. That's just not okay, right? But I really did want to make a video about how I felt, about just me rambling a little bit. I am more than likely going to make a part 2 to this video. I have to think a little bit more about what I want to speak about in my own life, experiences, because I don't speak about everything in my life, right? I don't speak about everything that happens in the exact moment, because some things I feel I shouldn't share because it's just it's for my own personal character development, right? I make these videos for other people who agree with what I have to say, but don't know how to speak about it, or they don't they think that no one else is going through what they're going through. And that's why I make these videos, so they can resonate with people, because I could be going through what a million of you out there are going through, right? But I just speak about it, right? So more than likely I am going to make a part 2, multiple parts, maybe actual examples of how I've gone through it in my life. And yeah, but thank you guys for watching Mox, a teenage talk show. Okay, look, this topic resonated with me a lot. I just had to come out in my shed and make this video. I know the background is different because I'm back in my shed. I was actually in my my loft area upstairs, but I know my hair is not done. Look, I just had to come speak about how I feel. If you feel like this resonated with you, please talk about it in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to stay updated, because I am back on track. Like I said, a lot goes on in my life, okay? The past 2 weeks have been hectic. But I will be back on track, and thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.